What you doing there, buddy?
I'm watching the Super Bowl.
You're kind of a couple days late.
Oh, I know. I cut myself off from social media to avoid spoilers.
Spoilers? Well, then the Patriots won 13-3.
Oh, I don't watch it for that crap. I'm all about the winner of the commercials.
Oh, well, in that case, according to everyone online, the best Super Bowl commercial was Amazon's ad. Mostly just because it had Harrison Ford and his cute puppy in it.
No!
Welcome back to The Real Deal, Ball State's premier entertainment news show. I'm your host, Abby Perry.
And I'm Noah Bullard. And I honestly watched the Super Bowl for the commercials. I hate myself.
That's just the initiation for The Real Deal. Welcome.
Speaking of the real deal, you know what died and had its corpse rotting in the UML for the past year?
Tyler?
Nope.
Anastasia? Although, I guess she was a vampire there for a bit.
Wrong again.
Brandon.
No, he's a taxidermy animal in our award case right now, actually.
Oh, I know. The old segment, Hollywood Headlines.
Yes, and here's Andre Guima to dig its bloated corpse back from the dead and give it a whole new makeover. Andre?
Thanks, Noah, and welcome to this week's Hollywood Headlines. 2019's box office got off to a slow start. January's total earning hit its lowest since 2013, with the greatest grossing movie being Glass. Despite this slow start at the box office, there's not much concern that 2019 will be a successful year at the box office, as business is expected to pick up with the release of Lego Movie 2 and blow up with Shazam and Avengers Endgame over the summer. Box office earnings tend to dip during the Super Bowl weekend, but the massive football event also greatly affected streaming. According to Netflix's Twitter, Netflix's streaming viewership went down by 32% during the Super Bowl Sunday as compared to a normal Sunday. Ironically enough, despite the box office earning dipping along with streaming viewership, Super Bowl viewership on CBS also went down. It's the first time since 2009 that the big game did not bring in more than 100 million viewers on CBS. Although the Super Bowl brought box office and streaming viewership down, it did serve as a platform for promoting new movies and television shows in the future. Along with the Fast and Furious spin-off starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Jason Statham, a reboot of The Twilight Zone was teased by Jordan Peele. The Twilight Zone will be coming to CBS All Access April 1st and will be narrated by Jordan Peele. The new series will be produced by CBS Television Studios in association with Peele's Monkey Paw Productions and Simon Kinberg's Genre Films. Kinberg will serve as executive producer along with Jordan Peele. Moving on from the Super Bowl news, rapper Shaya bin Abraham Joseph, aka 21 Savage, was arrested last Sunday by ICE agents. Immigration and Customs Enforcement said the rapper is a citizen of the United Kingdom who entered the country legally in 2005 as a minor, but did not return to the UK when his visa expired. Abraham Joseph is currently in detention in Atlanta, awaiting removal proceedings before federal immigration courts. On other celebrity news, Empire star, singer, and songwriter Jussie Smollett returned to perform on stage last Saturday after recovering from a potentially racial and homophobic related attack in Chicago on January 28. According to the police, the offenders yelled racist and homophobic slurs at Smollett, then battered the victim's face, poured an unknown chemical substance on him, and put a rope around his neck. Chicago police are still working on finding the suspects. Smollett is an openly gay African-American actor and singer, and on his performance last Saturday after the incident, Smollett said, quote, "I'm not fully healed yet, but I'm going, and I'm going to stand strong with y'all. I had to be here tonight." This has been Andre Guima with this week's Hollywood Headlines. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Andre. Amazing as usual. I expect nothing less from you.
Andre is our futuristic savior sent to the past to save this show by breathing new life into it.
Okay, I was just joking, but that was kind of creepy.
I sort of got into a sci-fi kick after watching some new shows.
New shows? I just finished rewatching Parks and Rec and The Office for the 15th time.
You have a problem.
Well, look at me. I'm holier than thou Noah, judging people on The Office.
Calm down, Abby. Let's have Michael talk about this new show instead. Michael?
Thanks, Noah. I have a question for everyone. What do Michael B. Jordan, Dakota Fanning, Maisie Williams, David Tennant, Cyberbrains, and Giant Mechas have in common? If you answer that they're all at the center of a new animated web series called Genlock, you'd be correct. The new series, coming from Austin-based Rooster Teeth Productions, premiered January 26th. Genlock takes place in a dystopian future where a war is broken out across North America between the nation known as the Polity and an invading force known as the Union. So far, I've very much enjoyed the series. 3 episodes have been released. Most of the episodes are focused on introducing the main characters and the fight between the Polity and the Union. Right now, not much is known about these two factions, which leaves investment in the fate of the nation really on the back burner. One of the only things known is that at the current rate, the Union will reach the West Coast in 6 months. So we know the Polity is in danger, but have no real reason to care other than they are the quote-unquote good guys. The investment being built for the viewer is in our main Genlock program squad. Each character has their own reason to fight or not to fight, but all of them are extremely adaptable. This is the reason why they are the only Genlock compatible candidates in the world. One of the main critiques so far is of the animation style, which is very similar to that of Rooster Teeth's other animated series, RWBY. Another criticism is that the battle sets take away from the character-centric narrative. I disagree though, because with this, you get a better insight into the characters' true motivations and personalities when they're forced to make snap judgments in stress-filled environments. Personally, I would recommend the show, but if you are a little hesitant, the pilot episode is currently available for free for everyone via Rooster Teeth's website and streaming platform. The rest of the episodes are currently exclusive to Rooster Teeth's first membership program. With 3 episodes released so far and the rest following a weekly release schedule, the first season should conclude around March 9th. If you enjoyed the pilot episode and you want to see more without paying, you can always sign up for their free 1-month trial of Rooster Teeth First via their website, roosterteeth.com. That's all from me for this week. I'm Michael Smith. Back to you, Abby.
Thanks, Michael, for that recommendation. You really popped and Genlocked it.
Are you disappointed in yourself? You should be.
I think it was good.
No, just go to break. Stop.
All right.
Oh no. Something new. What is it up to?
I don't know, but that beat is pretty fresh. Uh-oh.
It's like it knows our every move.
Weird, right?
I know someone you should talk to. I can help you connect with men. Why don't we have some tea?
This smells like dirt.
Oh, that's just jasmine tea. If you don't count the weed and the peyote and the crack.
Oh, hello, welcome back, Miss Davis. Thank God this one didn't die on me. Starting today, no more drinking at work.
Hey, that's too much information.
That's it.
He died of a heroin overdose.
We didn't know our own son.
Kyle wasn't a druggie. Sorry, but all the parents say that.
You're gonna have to say a few words.
Kyle's dead. Tell me what happened.
He got mixed up with some drug dealer. Viking. He likes hurting people.
What is it with all these nicknames? Speedo, Viking, Eskimo.
It's a gangster thing.
Did you have a nickname?
Wingman.
Wait a minute.
Should we talk?
No.
Were the writers just watching the Super Bowl?
Yep.
Not surprised with those slackers. I bet they were just busy combining the Rams and Patriots logos on the UML conference room.
The Ramtriots?
Yeah.
Glad our writers are hard at work. That's right. We have more segments. Adam.
With Bohemian Rhapsody raking in $798 million in the box office in the last few months, even becoming a formidable competitor in the several categories at the Academy Awards, it is apparent that big-name studios will be capitalizing on similar biopics in the near future. Trailers have already dropped for the upcoming Elton John biopic, Rocket Man, and has garnered mixed feelings from critics and fans alike. In case you forgot exactly how much big-name studios love to crank out trends, another film is emerging just to remind you. This film, for now titled Stardust, gives David Bowie a chance to be portrayed in his first biopic. Although an interesting figure to say the least, I can't help but to feel hesitant. The rushing out of these three films, releasing them within a few years of each other, has me worried for the competency of the next two films to be released. It was announced that actor Johnny Flynn would be portraying the charismatic glam rocker. Flynn had appeared in Clouds of Cis Maria, which slipped under the cracks of the box office. In addition, it is stated that as of now, the movie does not possess the rights of Bowie's music. This might hint we won't be seeing any at all, making this film stand out from Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man. It's hard to imagine how exactly a person can tackle impersonating one of the most exuberant and unpredictable men in music history, but hopefully we'll get a surprise when the movie hits theaters. Whatever the case may be, this production is certainly under pressure.
Thanks, Adam. That was really something.
Let's move on.
Okay, well, let's see. Sierra's talking about The Good Doctor.
It says here that I went to the hospital last week.
Do you not remember that?
I don't remember much since The Real Deal Knits.
Okay, well, we can work with that.
Let's say I was laughing so hard from last episode, I was in stitches.
That would mean you would need a good doctor.
There we go. That would make a good transition if we talked about that.
See, we're doing the writer's job for them. Way to go, writers.
The writers say thanks. Let's hear Sierra's review on The Good Doctor.
Thanks, Noah. If you have recently seen a clip on Instagram or any other social media app that shows a boy with autism saving a child at an airport, then you are at least familiar with what I'm about to talk about for the next few minutes. A few weeks ago, my sister, bless her heart, gave me the recommendation to watch a new show that she had recently got into on Hulu. I know. Ew, who watches Hulu? Team Netflix, right? Don't get me wrong, people. I am on the same boat most of the time, but after she explained what The Good Doctor was, I remembered I had seen a clip on Instagram a while back and tried finding the show, but had no luck. Once I was informed that this was indeed a real show, I spent the weekend at her apartment watching about 6 episodes in one sitting before forcing myself to go to sleep. The show's main character is Sean Murphy, also known as Freddie Highmore. You may have previously seen Freddie in the series Bates Motel. May I also mention the fact that Freddie Highmore is British? I mean, who knew, right? British actors are amazing. Like, I could name off many British actors in very popular shows and movies who have way better accents than I do. Anyways, Sean was supposed to be at an interview at the San Jose St. Bonaventure Hospital when he saw a boy dying from an accident at the airport. Don't worry, I'm not spoiling anything. It's all in the first episode. I give this show a 5 out of 5, and it's currently my go-to show while I don't have homework to do. I usually don't give a 5 out of 5 on a review because I always feel there is something out there that is better, but the message of the overall show deserves a perfect score. There are moments you want to feel bad for Sean in the show because of the rejection and undermining he receives for being autistic, but Sean's differences allow him to be blunt with people even when they try to put him down. I think it's a great representation of hope for people who have disabilities or any difference that society may look down upon. It is very inspiring to see Sean's character grow throughout the show as his coworkers learn from him and teach him how to have regular relationships with people despite his uniqueness. So if you are looking for a new hospital series that is just as entertaining as House, this is that. Hulu also offers a 1-month free trial as well, people. This is enough time to binge watch both seasons and end your subscription. That is all. Thank me later, people. Back to you, Abby.
Thanks, Sierra. We missed you. You're amazing.
And it's time for our shameless plug. This week, check out Unwind Rewind with Elise, Caitlin, and our forgotten hosts, Tyler and Anastasia. Also, be sure to see our new game show that we filmed Friday, but we don't know when it'll be out.
Coming soon.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. World peace has been found, and it's located right here on this show. Now, what makes this show so worthy of bringing about world peace? Well, it's a game show. hosted by me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I take great pleasure in introducing you to the very first episode of the greatest game show in the world. Are you not entertained?
You know what I noticed? I haven't got a single thank you to the segment producers in this episode at all yet.
None? Zero? You gotta pump those numbers up, bruh.
You take it away before I even can.
Are you trying to insinuate something? That's too cold, even from you.
Would you say polar vortex cold?
A little, yeah.
So let's ignore the cold and let's just take a polar plunge into Landon's review.
Okay.
I decided to take some time out of my weekend to watch the new Netflix movie Polar, directed by Jonas Ackerlund. This movie stars Mads Mikkelsen, Vanessa Hudgens, Richard Dreyfuss, and even Johnny Knoxville. This movie is based off a graphic novel called Polar, Came from the Cold, and is about a man named Duncan Visla, played by Mads, who is days away from retirement from a hitman business. So, once the hitmen in this company turn 50, they're forced to retire. They are then assassinated so that the company owner, Mr. Blute, doesn't have to pay out his pension to his employees. Duncan is sort of aware of Mr. Blute's method and decides to hide out in a cabin by a lake away from all known locations and properties. Across the lake lives a girl named Camille, who's played by Vanessa Hudgens. Camille has a pretty dark past that comes to light as the story progresses. Duncan develops a friendship with Camille as he hides out during retirement. Upon finding out Mr. Blute won't pay out his $8 million pension, kidnap Camille, and he is also trying to kill him, Duncan sets out to take out anyone and everyone that has wronged him. Now, I want to start with the story. The story was a bit cliche. A man who is in a dangerous hitman business gets wronged and goes on a killing spree, and if you haven't already connected ends, this movie is literally just John Wick with different characters. The main character is a pure beast who kills people in so many creative ways. There are so many scenes throughout the movie that made me laugh even when it wasn't really intended. The movie doesn't take itself completely serious. It makes fun of itself at times, but takes itself very seriously at others. Altogether, the story kept up, and there's even a bit of a twist that you'll have to see for yourself at the end. Now, the cinematography in this film was great at times, but okay at others. One thing that I loved from this movie was the varying camera shots. During some action scenes, the camera would take the place of a security camera watching over where the action was taking place, making you feel like you are the security guard scared for your life. Other shots took place of the person aiming down the sights of their guns, or just the first person in view in general. Almost every camera shot had a purpose, and I love when a movie can execute that correctly. Some of the ending shots and scenes were a bit cliche and felt very overused compared to most action movie genres. And lastly, the reviews. This movie bombed. I give this movie more credit than it's worth because I have a bit of a soft spot for action-packed movies. IMDb did give this movie a 6.3 out of 10, but its Metascore falls at a measly 19. I personally enjoyed the movie and definitely recommend it to anyone who is a fan of action-packed, comedic, thrill types of movies. Mads Mikkelsen is one of the greatest parts of the movie, playing Duncan Visla, but some of the cast members really couldn't hold up their end. This movie does have a lot of gore and a lot of nudity, so watch at your own discretion. And that being said, I have to give Polar a 3 out of 5. My name is Landon, and I will see you next time.
Thanks for that chilling review.
I love the Polar Express. Hey, you stole it again.
What are you gonna do about it?
What am I gonna do about it? I'm gonna go to our final word and blow everyone here out of the water with my pure, amazing words.
Prove it!
Some of us still don't die with bullets. Some of us can still bend steel. I've been waiting for the world to see.
We said nothing for my birthday.
I'm sorry you gotta have a surprise party in your huge mansion. Some of us got real problems. I'm fighting to see my son.
And whose fault is it? Is it yours, or is the world out to get you?
Are you mad? You wanna break this big-ass bottle of wine?
Yeah, Merrick. From Los Angeles.
I just want to find my friend.
I need you to do a favor for me first. You mess around and I'll kill you both.
This week, I'd like to touch on something a little more divisive. Liam Neeson made some pretty rough statements in an interview with a British online newspaper. Neeson was doing a publicity interview with The Independent to promote his new film, Cold Pursuit, in which he began recounting a story from, quote, many years ago when a close friend of his was raped. Neeson then said, and this gets sensitive, fair warning, and I quote, "I went up and down areas with Akash, hoping I'd be approached by somebody. I'm ashamed to say that, and I did it for maybe a week, hoping some black bastard would come out of the pub and have a go at me about something, you know, so that I could kill him," end quote. Now, before I continue, I'd like to note that I don't condone Neeson's behavior in any way, shape, or form. But at first glance, Neeson's comments are shocking and absolutely unacceptable. At second glance, they're downright ridiculous. While the comments Neeson made later in the interview largely reflect his reprimand of himself after what happened, the damage has already been done. This instance of heavily charged racism was more than enough to set Twitter ablaze, with journalists, PR representatives, and public figures weighing in from across the globe. Neeson's actions were and still are unacceptable, and as of now, Neeson's camp has yet to issue a statement regarding his comments. Neeson told his tale on the platform of relating to a character he plays in his newest film. The moral? Revenge is bad. Neeson apologized for how he felt and what he did, but he doesn't acknowledge the racial nature of his comments at all. Neeson's publicist declined to comment on the story run by The Independent, and if this is the end of a film career for Neeson, what a true fall from grace it will be. Let us know what you think, but for now, I'm Noah Bullard.
On a lighter note, I love You. Well, you, but also You, the show. This thriller series is amazing. I am obsessed, and I cannot wait to see if a second season will be made. Let me key you in here. You is a show about a stalker named Joe, and he's following a girl that he really wants to be with named Beck. He dives into this girl's life, learning about all of her friends, her ex, her family, and he even manages to figure out just how she feels about him. I don't want to spoil what this entails, though. Given all of that information, you're probably wondering how he does it. To answer that, he is a criminal on paper. The ways that he gets what he wants are very criminal. Dexter meets Gossip Girl. All of the drama, but all of the motive is explained. The viewer is let in on everything he does, and it makes him seem a little less bad. We hear his thoughts, his reasoning, his fears, his regrets, everything. Better yet, we hear his sense of humor and smart comments, most of which I found myself agreeing with. That is what makes this show so interesting. You want to hate him so badly. You want to root for Beck to figure it out and run, but you secretly root for them to fall in love and live happily ever after. Why? Because you secretly love Joe. This is impressive for the writers. Dexter was very similar, but a lot of people could actually rationalize what he did, which was only killing really, really bad people. I don't agree with that, but I know some people that do. This show isn't like that, though. He has no motive that betters society or fixes any type of problem. He's just simply obsessed with a girl and does whatever it takes to get to her. Nothing behind what he does is rational to most viewers, but you find yourself trying to rationalize it because, again, you secretly love him. This show makes me feel very mixed emotions about myself and the characters. It takes me to a lot of really dark places, but it also makes me laugh. It makes me cherish love, but it also makes me second guess every person in my life. If that isn't enough to make you binge watch this show right now, then I don't know what is. That's all I have for you today.
And that'll wrap up season 14, episode 14. Hey, it's a palindrome.
No.
But anyways, if you want more from us here at The Real Deal, check out our Twitter, our Facebook, and our website for all things entertainment. I'm your host, Noah Bullard.
And I'm Abby Perry. See you next time on The Real Deal.